In the shadowed corners of racing's memory, yesterday's champions await their triumphant return, patiently biding their time on the sidelines. And now, the wait is over. They are back. SARCO, UK versus USA, powered by NAG.
Good evening everybody. Welcome back. It is round number 5 of the NAG Season 1, UK versus USA. We have done the first of the USA tracks and we're now at Indianapolis. A love or hate track, that's for sure. In the commentary box, Carl Lawrence, how are you this evening?
Hey Dol, I didn't remind you I should have my mics on, but I'm assuming it is. Sorry, I was focusing on other things. Nice to be back, as always. Round 5, I was having a look at the championship points, 4 rounds in, and we've only got like a 10-point split, I think, between first and second, and it's insanely close all the way down the field. Even in the Pro-Am split, it's just as close as the Pro, so a testament to how close the racing has been.
And look, this one-lap flyer has definitely caught some of the drivers out. We saw some incidents that had happened last week. You unfortunately are not with us. We lost Henry Mayer purely because he had made a mistake on his outlap. Ryan Otten's basically, we'd say, driver of the day, and that's because he too fumbled up on his qualifying lap, but fought through the field for some really amazing results there. But Indianapolis, the track is wider, it is faster. There are still some very interesting places where you are able to invalidate that lap, but I think we're going to see a little bit more aggression here this evening.
Yeah, that is one thing that we forget to remind the viewers of, is that on applications like ACC and the like, you have what's called a track validation, so track limitations as you would have in real life. And in the sim world, it's no like, oh, COC looks at it and makes a decision. It's more like it's on a sensor and you just go a touch too wide, and all of a sudden you go from possibly being on the front row to definitely being at the back of the field. So, and I think that's what mixes up the championship so much. If you're not comfortable with a circuit, you're not going to be as comfortable to push as you would at a circuit you know well. So at some circuits we'll see certain drivers in front and a nice mix up throughout the season.
And talking about the circuit, it is very flat. There are some areas where you get onto the Indianapolis Speedway, but generally, whenever I drive here, I always get that sense of the Vereeniging car track, where it's just open spaces. You can kind of see through all the corners. You can see the cars in the distance. No variations in terms of the altitude of the track, and it's pretty flat. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why the drivers don't really like it.
Yeah, undulation wise is very little, so the car doesn't move as much under you. So, but at least unlike Vereeniging, you don't have to dodge Kvyats trying to dive at you every 5 seconds when you're trying to throw a lap in, so you avoid that at least. But circuits like that are difficult, especially to find a rhythm. You always seem to have a mark on a track or a movement, or where the car drops and rises. You don't have that, so there's no real flow to it. So it almost becomes very monotonous.
No, I 100% agree with you. So I see that there is 1 minute left of the practice. But man, oh man, guys, do we have some really cool news for you. And what that is that NAG do have their NAG mag. So that is their volume 19, essentially issue 1. They do have it up for sale, and you are able to go to shopnag.co.za. The details are in the description. Go check it out and you can get your hands on your NAG magazine.
There was nothing quite like paging through a new NAG magazine. The smell of those freshly printed pages, incredible game artwork, and of course, all the gaming and hardware insights you can handle. Did you know that the NAG magazine is back in print? Yes!
Grab the latest copy online. It's the 2023 annual edition, and each magazine is individually numbered. You can also look forward to an exclusive poster in each magazine, and there are 2 cover DVDs with exclusive game demos, apps, and many hidden Easter eggs. Get yours at shop.nag.co.za before they're all gone.
We feel you. There was nothing quite like paging through a new NAG magazine. The smell of those freshly printed pages, incredible game artwork, and
Sorry, Cody, we had to just cut you short there, but that is the end of practice. We are about to go into the qualifying, and guys, go check it out. shop.nag.co.za. Go get your hand in a very NAG magazine, and as you can see, we have a new livery for a brand. They have rebranded, and they did so through a Rage last year. And they're now sporting a very, very interesting yellow.
That would look great on a race car.
Yellow.
Black with the NAG yellow. That would look amazing.
I wonder, that seems like a subtle hint somewhere.
Just a small one.
Okay. Well,
Just
at least now we know. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that screen there, Carl, but you should be able to see what's happening. And I'm saying I am assuming, and the reason I'm assuming is because I'm looking at some of the comments that are coming through, and no one has said, hey, we can't hear Carl. Santos to say good evening, everybody. But it was Sean Kutsia who got the first dibs here this evening, saying, let's go, AJ. And AJ, definitely in the running for this championship. Anything can happen, so let's see.
Anything can happen. It is, after all, SARCO. Expect the unexpected.
And I wish that I could have, said we actually do script this, so that people will eventually believe that we do.
I'm going to keep saying it because there's no other way that things work out the way they do.
So a lot of drivers getting out into the track early on. This is a first, specifically in this qualifying. Only, what's it now, 5 drivers here have taken to the track. The first one, Ulrich de Jager from the LTR boys, as well as Lucas Hubert. The 2 of them, Ulrich and Lucas, essentially driving together. And they'll be one of the teams entering in the 12-hour Paul Ricard. Stefan Kutsia. Oof. Big apology came from him at Laguna Seca. Completely got his braking marker wrong, and he was one of the culprits that went flying into Henry Mayer up at the corkscrew. But it looks like everything has been addressed there. Oh, thank you very much, Carl.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. No, I'm just showing off my wonderful voice. That has nothing to do with your stream, Dol.
Rob van der Heever also out on track. Currently in 18th place. We'll see where he gets there. And then Jean-Ray Frankie Bierkes in his SpongeBob Godzilla.
SpongeBob Godzilla. I absolutely love those eyes over the light. It's phenomenal. That is the greatest livery I've ever seen on a vehicle, ever. I could sit and watch just this car the entire stream. It's like beautiful car, beautiful sound, and I'm so glad with the BOP and the way we set it up that it actually is relatively competitive. You're not stuck at the back of the field.
It still gets me how you can use the words SpongeBob and Godzilla in the same sentence.
Yeah, it's not even like they're both Japanese anime, huh?
Ooh, interesting. I hope not. We've got a message here saying stream seems lag. Is it just me? Don't know.
I did check it out on my phone earlier and it seemed alright, so I'm not sure if maybe it's just that side that is laggy.
Okay. AJ, we'll
It's definitely check well in the stream.
Check, yeah, but I'm not seeing any issues on my side. So Rob currently out on his first lap. Mr. Sean Herrero approves of this, which means he is not driving. He has fallen down to the load shedding problems of South Africa.
It is unfortunate, thankfully, that you and I figured out that I can use a laptop to continue commentary. It doesn't have to be
yes.
off the PC plugged into the wall, so I don't think load shedding should affect me too much going forward. But obviously, those were sim rigs that looked like a big cut of that curb.
Yeah.
We were talking about track limits earlier. I wonder if that's not one of those problems.
No, the beauty about that corner is that you are able to take quite a substantial amount there. As Ulrich crosses the line, and that gives him a 137.9. Sorry, that was Lucas who was up next, and he was on a 139.7. Oh, so close to the mirror there. Stefan Kutsia. He'll now cross the line, and that's going to put him up into second place. Next person to cross the line in the background there is on a flying lap.
Stevie Couture up to second place, so not a bad, no, very laggy from Nadine, just dropping us a message there on the stream saying it's very laggy. So I'm not sure if anything can be done from Dylan's side there as we watch Rob van der Heerve coming across to start finish lap. Currently in 18th.
Be his lap. There we go. That
puts himself up into second place. Just behind that, Godzilla crossing the line. Where does he go?
Frankie
Bierke's fourth. Hello, AB. Nice of you to join us. Ron Haneke. He's getting ready to start his lap. So through the chicane and onto the start-finish line. I am seeing lap 0, so definitely finishing an out lap. Dylan, if I'm wrong, please correct me.
No, you're 100% correct. Next person out is Gerard Pretorius. And behind him, we have got Malose Savata on an out lap. Paul Fenter, Paul the Wall. And we've asked him how many times he's planning to hit the wall this evening. But we'll definitely keep our eyes on that. So Ron Haneke now on that lap. Does somebody cross the line? Looks like it was car 45. Okay, no, so we did manage to catch him. So the next person who is going to be approaching the line is
Malossi.
Well, yeah. I'm saying on the lap will be
right.
Yeah.
That was Malossi, P5. Right. So Malossi, P5 there with a Conquest 138.4, I think it is. So from up into P5, 139.4, sorry, so a big jump there. Poleman 137.9, pull the wall. Fenter hoping to keep it out of the wall this time, and Ruud Heineke coming through to end his flyer and see where he puts himself with his one lap qualifier. We mentioned earlier how difficult it can be to put a lap together, straight out the pits and go. Once you've committed to your lap, that's it. You can't just return to pit if you're just trying to finish trying to get another crack at it. You've only got one go at it. Heads onto the final chicane. You say there's a lot of curb that can be taken at Dole, but that inside curb definitely looks like it would upset the apple cart if you grab it a little bit too much.
Yeah, the curb that you can take lots of is through turn number 11. That 13 is a suspension killer. So Ruud Heineke is going to cross the line. That's going to put him up into a first place with a 137.6. Now we'll get a couple of guys coming through. So Ati Pino, he is going to be starting his lap. We do have Gerard Pretorius, who is on a flying lap now as he crosses the line. That puts him up into first place.
The times are tumbling. 37.3, previous poll was 37.9. So Craig Echo, Creation Wealth, current leader of the Pro-Am series, and because he's the leader of some sort of championship, there will be insults flying your way, Craig. Change of livery for him, bit more red. Hoping to get more mentions, I think, from us commentators, but because we know him so well, we make sure we won't.
But this is the thing, is that he had updated when he added a bit more blue. And it looked really awesome, but now I've resynced and I ain't seeing that blue anymore, so that's pretty interesting. So Paul the Wall Fenter, he's on a lap, he's going to cross the line, and where does that put him? That puts him in first place with a 136.9.
So in the last 4 minutes, we've taken a second off pole. That McLaren looks gorgeous. Henry Mayer, we mentioned him throwing it away in previous qualifying, having to start at the back, and got caught up in the melee, and unfortunately didn't finish last week. But Henry Mayer hoping to do better this time. He's down in 23rd, hasn't completed a lap yet. This will be lap number 0, so he's still got to start a lap. But we talk about no adulations, but that step up onto the oval must be heart in throat moment.
So how's that? His outlap has put him into P23. So is that a sign of good things to come? So to the guys on the stream, thank you very much for those comments coming in. Still saying that it's looking a bit laggy. We just hope that it does settle over time. But please let us know.
Oh, that change direction shot is gorgeous. Looking nice and neat and tidy, no mistakes made just yet from Henry Mayer, so a good lap from him thus far. It's difficult to see on the second times, we're not getting them live, but he is looking really, really good so far. He's in 22nd with his out lap, so he's actually gone up a place since he's on from his out lap, and through this sector is rather tricky. It's 2, 3, 4 changes of direction. There's that curb tool you were talking about.
Yep.
Turn number 11, taking liberties, taking as much of it as he can, and up onto the oval he goes into the chicane. That's that suspension killer I was looking at. That is going to be difficult in the race to negotiate, especially with the tire drop off that we've been hearing the drivers complain about. We heard about it in drivers briefing as well. I think, Dill, you were saying 7 laps the tires are good for, and then you're going to have to do another 7 before you stop again. Quick shot to Craig Earcoat. He put himself up into 3rd with his lap, and Henry Mayer crossed the line to do his lap into 1st place, 1:35.8. Wow.
A lap.
I said it looked good, but wow, that is proper. Murat Musa starting his lap now. He's got a BMW in tow as well. They're making a car and trailer there. As Femi Bauer comes across to finish his flying lap and enter P2. The McLarens are looking very, very quick around here.
36.2 there for him. We do have Emily Benz. She's going to be crossing the line now as well, putting the times in. And you're right, they are going to be crossing the line pretty quickly. Emily goes into 9th place. David Farrell, he is going to be starting his. Terry Wolford on a flyer. He's going to cross the line, put himself into 4th place. That's a great lap there for Terry. We got Heinrich Sugars on an out lap. Just behind him is Morris Botma. We know that he's been quick all season. Andre Hildebrandt, currently 27th place. He's also going to be getting that flying lap in. Andres Herodio, one of the championship contenders. We are definitely going to be keeping an eye on his lap as well. AJ de Kock on an out lap. So it is going to be absolute rapid fire in the next 1.5 minutes or so. And we will try and just keep up with everyone. Rainer Roberts, he's on a flying lap now. Coming through turn number 15, and you've got to be so careful to get this power on that it doesn't step away from you, because you can actually go wide there and it does invalidate your lap. So Rainer Roberts crossing the line puts him up into 3rd place. Mohat Musa is going to be crossing line. He goes into 2nd. Next on the track is David Farrell coming out of turn number 14. Just got to keep that traction control up here to stay off that curb, because it does unsettle that rear. To the line it goes. Where does that put him? 3rd place. And man, oh man, these times are just tumbling down. Jabulani and Mazi van Dondo out of the last corner there for him, getting right up against the wall. 17th place there for him. Next up, Justin Lotus. He's going to be on a flying lap. Heinrich, here he goes, crossing the line. That puts him into 3rd place. Morris Botma in the background there. We wouldn't have time to catch him, but there he is there, crossing the line in 9th place. Next to go, Andres Herodio, right up against the wall as well. He goes to his 6th position. AJ de Kock in the Alpha 1 esports team. A Ferrari crossing the line. 6th place there for him, so that pushes.
He'll hug the wall. Yes, he is looking for that slipstream from the wall. Across the line now, Jason Farmer from 33rd to 15th. Not a bad lap time, but we've seen how fast this field is. So into the top half of the field, considering there's almost 40 on the grid.
Oh, that's actually still a great effort. And you can see that Jason has been putting in some really good results over the last couple of weeks. Skitty, as he's known in the LNR world, 7th place there for him, but a fastest 3rd sector there. So still lots more to come there from him.
Ooh, that looked untidy.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice coming off that very, very horrible turn number 14. It's got like a kind of late entry. Oh, 10th place there for Ryan.
That cost him. Radloff across the line just behind him now. And where does that put him?
That
in
puts him
ninth.
in 9th.
So drivers we expected to see further up the field on 9th and 11th. So change of circuits and a change up in the order. We've got Henry Mayer on pole with Musa 2nd, Sugars in 3rd, Farrell 4th, Bauer 5th, and De Kock in 6th. Those top 6 isn't those top 6 we're used to, Dylan?
It is mixed up just a little bit. I definitely agree with you there. We didn't see Fleming Bauer, but there he is there in 5th place. I do quite like those colors.
There's a nice mix.
There is something I just wanted to show you, because where is that? How cool is that for a livery?
Wow. Ghostworks. That is very, very cool.
So
great livery there on Emily Benz's Benz. Say that 3 times fast.
Or what about
Jonathan Benz's Benz?
So
the Benz with their Benz.
I must say that whole rusted look really, really is working for me. I spotted it during the practice. So
YOLO, is that Yellow or YOLO Design Company?
Yellow.
So Yellow Design Company. I think they had something to do with that.
Yeah, well, that's Jonathan's Benz's company that he can do a livery for you.
Well, there you go. Great advertisement from Jonathan Benz. Yellow Design Company. Anybody in the symbol looking for a wrap for your race vehicle? Chat to them.
And that one was a free plug for you, Jonathan. I hope you enjoyed that.
Not a free plug. I expect a livery. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Ah, I see what you did there. Nice. Okay. Guys, on the stream, I'm just checking. Has the stream settled down? Are we still laggy? Is it running better?
Also, Dol, please, if you don't mind, check that you got the pit stop window right this time.
Ugh. Yes, I do. It was checked. Okay, here we go. It was checked. It was posted, and fortunately, simrace.gp cannot make that mistake. You have to set it, and yes, it was a setting that I had set, which then upset everybody.
It was, as they call in the computer world, an ID10T failure, correct?
Yes.
We're on board with David Farrell on the start. It's a great view from the top. We're going through the last sector of the lap now, getting ready to start this race. Thankfully, only a half a lap warm-up, so we don't have to sit through a full lap. The Alpha 1 esports cars, they're looking to get themselves further up the order, but it's Henry Mayer's McLaren with Muat Musa. We've seen Muat in the front a lot. He's back there again. We know Serodio's got the pace he won last week, so a nice mix in the top 8. Christopher Radloff and Otten's further down than we expected, and further down than I think they hoped, so hopefully they'll be coming through as well, giving us something to talk about. But Henry Mayer backs him up and gets ready for the green light. Down the main straight we go here at Indianapolis, waiting for them to set off and push it down the straight. Race, lights are out, race is on, and here we go into turn 1. It's tricky turn 1. It's a massive Constantino effect that we're spoken to in driver's briefing. A bit of movement there in P4. Hard on the brakes, they're going to one. Oh, Alpha Esports car down the inside. A big lunge, big move, and Serodio stuck on the outside contact. We've lost a car in the background there as we look at Muad Musa in second. He is under pressure from Sugars. And just behind them, Farrell. Oh, down the inside on the Alpha E1. Looked like, was that Radloff going past the radio or De Kock?
It was Sean Skitter that started falling down. There he is there in 9th place now. Oh, Paul Fenter tagging one of the Alpha Esports drivers, and he's now sent himself packing. Sean Skitter around the outside of Ryan Ottens, but Ottens getting a great drive on the exit there. And down the back straight towards turn number 8, one of the big braking zones here again. And you can just see now as we head through the SS single file.
Rodeo looked for the inside move, unfortunately made contact with De Kock. That spun him around. That was such a late decision to go down the inside there. And Sorodio has gone from a great start. I think he was up into P5, P6. He's dropped all the way down to 10th. As it looked like he's losing another spot to Lotus. Hard of the brakes, and it didn't look like Sorodio was going to get that stopped. But out in front, no worries for him. Henry Mayer starting to stretch his legs and build a gap straight away on the first lap.
And part of the issue with these guys getting that little bit of contact earlier on is there is a pit window. So you can't even use that strategy now to come in and get it fixed. Is that you have to wait till that pit window is open. But from the next lap, you should be able to go in, get that damage done, and hopefully try and secure some of those places that you've lost.
Yeah, looking at the massive snake of cars going from second down, it might actually not be a bad decision from someone in the top 6, top 8 to duck into the pits early and try and get a little bit of clear air, because this is going to get messy. Drivers are all over the place looking for way passes, ways past. We've seen guys drop down the order, so it's going to be a very, very busy mid-pack. So maybe a good idea to get into the pits, get out the way, and then get into some clear air, considering the fact that it is a 1 hour, you call it a semi-endurance. But the other aspect there is the tires. You said only 7 laps these tires are good for. Is that 7 laps flat out racing like this?
Well, the thing is that because it is so hot, is that those tires just go to a ball of snot. And the guys were saying that it looks like it's about 7 laps where you're getting like really optimal grip. But after that, they just seem to start disappearing, which you're going to have to let them cool down with guys running the brake ducts all the way open to try and that it'll move around the outside. Big jump over the curb there, and there is a Porsche off on the side. No, it's not a Porsche, it's Craig Eckert, who is now dropping down the order.
Unfortunate moment for Craig there. He's down into 23rd. He was having a solid run in 13th, 14th place. But like I said, that midfield battle, in fact, not even midfield, the entire field battle at the moment, there's not much space. So a lot of cars moving around. We see a lot of moves down the inside into turn 1. Just to illustrate my point, and one of those moves back there is Frankenstein in his Nissan. But Craig Eckert's trying to find his way back up the field now. Oh, there's a melee in front.
Oh.
That's one of the Benz.
Yeah.
One of the Benz cars, unfortunately, facing the wrong direction on the exit there. So a lot of sprint racing action in the first 5 minutes of this 1 hour endurance.
And it's just showing that there's warnings everywhere, but I don't think that everybody's making contact like that all the time. That was Leon trying to go around the outside there, and now what's happening is my cameras are not keeping up with what I'm trying to look at.
Well, I'm not surprised with the amounts of moving, shaking, and cars all over the place that's happening at the moment. There's cars moving left, cars moving right. Andre Hillman down in 30 seconds. Just behind him is Justin Benz. So it was Justin Benz we saw, unfortunately, facing the wrong direction. Oh, big jump over the curb from Jason Farmer. Jason Farmer down in 29th. Down 11 places from his start. So obviously someone that got caught up in the initial melee in the start, or the initial mix-up in the start. And unfortunately now down in 28th.
And I'm just seeing positions changing all over the place. Andres Rodeo. There we go. Pit window is open, and the guys that have come onto this back straight have now missed that window, so they'll have to do one more lap before they are able to go in and start looking at getting some of those pit stops done. But I do believe that there is going to be a jump into the pits for guys to start getting those pit stops out of the way, but also start clearing up just a little bit of air between themselves and the congestion ahead.
Yeah, you were saying the heat of the tires, it's going to be a lot hotter running nose to tail with the car in front of you. But Andres Rodio obviously not happy with it where he is in the field at the moment, because he is pushing hard to find a way past Roberts just in front of him. But Roberts, in the meantime, also looking for a way past on Skitter. So a lot of cars running very, very close together throughout this field. Christopher Radloff, he's up into P5. We said we should see him further up the field, and that's exactly what he's done. He's moved himself up into 5th. The one name I'm not seeing, though, at the moment, he looked down the inside, changed his mind last minute. As I finished my thought, Ottens is in 7th place, was the name I was looking for. So from a P9 and P11 start, these two Alpha 1 esports drivers are not hanging about and are trying to move their way up the field as quick as possible. But Christopher Ladroff currently getting caught up behind De Kock, and it looks like De Kock is starting to become the cork in that bottle, because what was 2 cars is now quickly turning into 4. And with Sorodio just at the back there, we might see a dice from 4th to 10th from starting out here, depending or not on who goes into the pit.
So I have seen that Sugars is starting to close up into the back of Mohad, and that BMW just so strong over the curves. I know if you try and hit a Ferrari over that curve, it is going to send you to Jesus. So the BMW already riding that curve well and holding that gap up. It looks like this is where the Ferrari is a lot better, is through the twisty stuff, but on the straight, the BMW definitely is able to open up a gap.
Stretches legs, as they say.
Get the pedal to the metal and open the gap.
Out in front, though, Henry Mayer, fastest lap, and he's built himself quite a healthy lead. Whoa! Big movement at the background. That's the McLaren into the wall. That's Bauer. So it looked like Bauer just stepped the back wheel onto the grass, and he's turned that car around and smacked it into the wall. Massive, massive unfortunate for Fleming Bauer there in the McLaren. I'm hoping we get a replay from our producer. Yes, we do. Look at the man. He's on the money. There it is there. Oh, just a little bit too much wheel over the edge. And unfortunately, without traction control, a lot of these cars, drivers not running traction control in these cars are to ensure they're getting the optimum out of a lap. But just a little bit of grass in that tire, and all of a sudden you're facing the wrong way. Henry Mayer, fastest first sector, purple first sector. And very mediocre 2 sectors thereafter, but 35.3s he's averaging, and just behind him, Moat Musa with Sugars close behind. Radloff has gotten past AJ De Kock, so Radloff now up into 4th, and AJ De Kock now the cork in the bottle holding up Ottens, and it looks like a long train of cars behind him. Sorodio still looking racy there. He's gotten past Lotus, he's up into 9th, and is now looking for a way past on Roberts.
So Fleming Bauer has gone into the pits, possibly to get some of that damage repaired. A big slam into the wall there for him. Andres Rodio closing up onto the back of Rainer Roberts in 9th place. Where it is also getting very interesting is further down, Terry Walford being chased by Paul Fenter, who Paul has just got himself ahead of Chris Heineke. See Chris in the background there fighting with David Farrell. Farrell.
Think of Will, but David.
Whoa!
Good catch.
Well done. So great catch, but unfortunately,
Into around the outside.
Paul having a look to the inside. Terry Wolford just closing that door, saying not this time. That is my corner. Terry losing a little bit of that rear as he changed the direction from turn 9 into turn number 10.
Oh, Paul's definitely got the run here. He's going to try and go long to get the car to come back into the slip with a little bit of overrun. Does Terry know he's there? Yes, he does. Paul forcing the issue around the outside. He's going to look for the inside now. He's still there. Terry doesn't believe it. And side by side they go. That was some great rubbing his racing from the two of them. I've never seen two G3 cars behave like NASCAR drivers and stay on the circuit, but they did it, and it looked fantastic. Terry Wolford, though, is now under pressure from Chris Heineke. He's right up the bumper of that Ferrari in front of him, the LTR Ferrari. Is he going to go defensive? He's not. Staying on the outside, and down the inside goes the Porsche. We know how good it is on the brakes, and it looks all but done from Porsche. He's going to run wide, but he maintains the drive, and that is a place for Chris Heineke. And Terry Wolford, in the space of half a lap, has gone down 2 places.
But he mustn't panic. He must just stay there, still drive his position. So he is currently now in the position that he qualified. There is still a bit of space between himself and David behind him. So no need to panic just yet, but just drive the car. Rainer Roberts still getting a lot of pressure from Andres Rodeo. Now less than half a second is the gap between himself and the Ferrari ahead of him. Wow, I thought that was going to look like... What is Cameron doing there? He seems to be very confused. Hey.
Yes, no, we'll definitely blame Camera Tim for that.
No, all of a sudden, the cameras just started changing themselves. I didn't have my hand on the mouse.
You're not supposed to admit that you're Camera Tim. Tim?
Here we go.
We're back. Christopher Radloff, P4. He's moved himself up massively in this field. Great driving from him. Have we seen some of the leaders going to the pits? Not just yet. Sorodio, though, has gotten past Roberts.
Yes, yes.
So Sorodio is now on the K skitter. He's going to be chasing that down hard with 3 cars in front of him. So Sorodio, not happy with that 10th place I said earlier. He looked racy, he looked hungry, and he's making those moves stick. But out on his own at the moment. Radloff turning in some decent times, 35.8, but we know that May is sitting 35.3s, 35.4s consistently. So let's see with a bit of clean air if Radloff can make that BM a little bit quicker around a lap.
Emily Benz putting some pressure onto Andre Hildebrandt. Crossing the line, her quickest lap, 1:38.1. Will it be a move to the inside? Just has a little show just to make him nervous for the next side, but decides not to have a go just yet. David on the back of Terry Wolford. And it's all going to be of who got the better drive heading towards turn number 8.
There's another move forming behind that as well. Just a look, filling the mirrors as they say.
Yes, that is the...
Oh, change of direction, dive down the inside. That's definitely not close enough, David. And unfortunately, that's messed up his drive for the rest of that lap, or the rest of the circuit on this lap. So any move down into turn 1, unless he sorts it out on this final sector, is unfortunately out of the window because of that little stab down the inside. And it's all about placing your car in the right place to set it up for a move later on. These cars running very, very close together, very, very close times. It is very difficult to get a pass done, especially with the BOP the way it is. I know these 2 cars are identical, but speaking in terms of 2 cars that aren't. But down to the main straight they go. I said David Farrell wouldn't be close enough to have a dig. He is definitely close enough. He's got the slip. He's right up the wing of Terry Wolford. Terry moving straight to the outside. He's not looking to defend that. He knows it's a long race. It's 46 minutes.
Whoa.
Oh, last minute turn in. And unfortunately, that was a 50-50. And David Farrell, oh, another contact. And that is Diocha, the falling victim to that. He's dropped a well done the order. Unfortunately, turned that car around. So, a little bit of rubbing his racing down the inside goes the BMW. That's Ati Pina on Frankie on the car at the pits. 3 into 1.
Yo.
How tight would you like to keep it? That racing seat is firmly sucked up into wherever the sun don't shine on car 29. Ati Pino, great racing number for Ati. We must be honest. I love it. Lloyd, late lunch on the inside.
So Ati really taking the challenge here to Frankie. So Ati to be on the outside, he should be able to do the little bit of the switch back, and look at that. Absolutely incredible move there. But it's all...
But it's not done yet. The next corner is a left-hander. So Godzilla giving it all she's got. Captain down the straight. He's got the inside of the BMW. Ati giving all the space. Godzilla giving all the space. Oh, he lost on the traction. A little bit of a touch. And Benz, the big winner there, going up a spot and is now putting pressure on Ati. But Ati's got the move done. But albeit a little bit untidy. But there's a move down the inside from Benz. Looking for a way past.
And she is should be able to just start it up on the inside here towards turn number 13 on the brakes. Pretty easy in the back, and just look how many cars are now coming through. This is now the battle for 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. 5 places separated by just over 2 seconds.
Yeah, these SARCO drivers, we've
Look
already
at that.
gone 15 minutes into the race and it looks like they're
That's
still on the first lap. I mean, if I saw this as a race weekend, I'd actually enjoy watching it if this was only cars in the circuit, but they are only 7 or 8 out of 23. Ati Pino got excited on the brakes, unfortunately ruined the exit, and that's going to bring, Mazi Vandondo coming out the pits to join the party in this race. So the McLaren down the inside, Ati's going to go the long, got it done, and given himself some breathing room, or was that, no, Mazi Vandondo getting well at the way of this trade. I would too, mate. I would too. Down the inside is a Ferrari there on the BMW. That is Sebastian de Villiers. Oh, the back end of that BMW almost looking like it's on a drift circuit.
Yeah, it's doing BMW
Sideways
things,
left.
and we've seen it over and over and over again.
You know, I keep telling these guys that drive the BMWs to stop putting PVC on their rear tires just to make it look good. It honestly looks like it. As we have a look at Alpha E1 sports driver sorry, I keep saying Sugars. He's up in the Sugars. He's Sugars from now on. P3. He's got an Benz was coming out the pits. And Sorodio still in 8th place just behind Skitter.
Yeah. And I don't think he can find a way past, because in terms of their lap time, they are matching each other to 0.1 of a second for the last 2 laps.
So he's either firmly stuck with no way past, or that is the pace that they are both running. You say firmly stuck with no way past, he's right underneath the rear wing, but it doesn't seem like that Lambo can pull it in a straight line. I must say I tried this car on Monday and around Silverstone, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's actually become my new favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the Lamborghini. I love how you can, the front end is just so strong on it. I can't stand an understeer car, so I just prefer how direct the front is, and the back doesn't seem to want to follow it all the time.
This seems very go-kart-like. Lots of front end, little drift off the rear as you start accelerating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not too much, because the BMW is just too much.
I drove a lot in the BMW, but at no point have I ever felt that that's what the Lamborghini does. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the front end's so strong, and it just got a little bit of a step out on the way out, but controllable, manageable. And he's all over the back. The brakes on this car are amazing. He's going to try. He does get alongside. He's turned it in. It's a bit of a squeeze. It looks like he's going to make it happen, though. They're still side by side around the left-hander.
But now
They're still
Sean's
side by
on the
side
inside.
around the right-hander.
He's on the inside. There we go. That's crazy.
What I thought was done is not done, but the switchback, sneaky little cutback. And is this going to be where he gets it done? On the brakes, they go through the right-hander.
Well, Skitter's on the inside. Now for the next one, and loses the rear.
He lost the rear.
He's off. He's off. He's off.
Skitter, he caught it. And then he lost it. Wow.
Talk about some hair-raising moments there.
Skitter Biscuit, he's off the track, unfortunately. As we have a look at Rob van der Heever down in 17th, that means Craig Earcoat. He's come all the way back from 23rd up to 16th. Albeit with the pit window open and a little bit of grass cutting. So the BMW doing them BMW things, and Craig having a Code Brown moment, but seems to have made his way through it.
So now we've got Ruan Heineke, who's on the back of a Skitter, who crazy move between, it was through turn 1, 2, 3, it was only at turn 6. Did things go a little bit wrong there for Skitter? And
to be fair, Skitter lost it in turn 4 and gave up on it in turn 6, because he had hairy moments through so many of those corners. How he held onto that car as long as he did is beyond me. And the fact that he saved it and kept it inside the top 10. He's gone into the pits though. Yeah. So negating some of the damage at least.
Well, remember what I said is that the guys would probably be pitting on that 20-minute mark. It's now 40 minutes left, because it's get rid of these tires, put on a new fresh set, and let's have a go.
Few stops in this event?
2 stops. 2 stops, mandatory tires, which means that the guys are able to drive as fast and as hectic as they want to.
Which we have all but seen. It's been a manic 20 minutes. I can't believe it's been 20 minutes already. More so though, we talk about manic. There's nothing manic about his race. All on his lonesome. 5.6 away from the leader, Henry Mayer, and 2.2 away from Sugars. And it looks as though it's kind of settled down in the front. Henry Mayer driving an amazing race. To the pits he goes, I thought he had missed that corner. I honestly had a panic for him. He was doing 35 3s, 35 4s, dropped into 36 deads. And has obviously decided it's time for tyres as Dylan has a little giggle in the corner.
And so we're allowed to earn Mohat follow him. So would Sugars, yeah, so Sugars decided he's going to go and lead the race for a lap.
I'm sure, however, we will see him in the pits. That puts the rodeo up into P4, finally in a bit of clear air. Whether he's going to use it or not remains to be seen. He might be just diving straight into the pits. Although he did have the pace on those in front of him, so maybe a undercut is something he's looking for. Overcut, sorry. Christopher Radloff though, having looked at him down in P12. He's obviously done his stop.
He's done one.
And
so
that's...
he has done one stop, and he is currently the highest position driver for those who have made a stop.
Ah. So whether or not he'll be getting a bit of an undercut will remain to be seen. He was in 4th when he pitted, if I'm not mistaken.
And yes.
Quite some distance off the leaders. I think Henry Mayer was 5.7 ahead of 2nd place. So at least 9 seconds off the leader he was. So we're interested to see where he comes out after the pit stops ahead of him.
Well,
understeer.
I can tell you something. This is probably one of the longest, most frustrating pit lanes ever, because it is the entirety of the straight. Plus, you've got this little kink that you need to navigate at the end there.
Wait, hang on. How close is Musa? Whoa, car slow in the pit lane. Musa's not far off Mayer. So, will that hamper Musa?
Where is
Musa?
Okay, so he is a little bit further back. Christopher Radloff is... Okay, so he's only now coming through turn 3 now.
So there's still quite a big gap between himself and the Mayer. Doesn't look like it's closed much.
Got a message from Talkie saying that last move didn't count as a tank slapper. It looked more like a rodeo bull leaving the cage.
No, mates, I agree with you fully, and I will be using that from now on. Oh, BMW things.
Oh,
I will be using that from now on. It is a bull released from its cage. And BMW drivers are no longer there. Is he there? We would, as we said, sideways again. He's no longer a driver. He's now a bull rider. It's been decided.
We're going to use your phrase and never go. Oh, that was okay. That makes sense.
Oh, you worked it out. Okay.
Yes, I didn't need to ask the question because my brain went back. Because there's Andre. Is this going to be Moti van Dorn around the outside? But he should be able to get the drive and possibly set something up on the inside. It is Ferrari McLaren.
Yeah, they're so close together there for a McLaren. That was terrible. I'll take that back. Edit. Post-production edit. Cut. Remove. Jabulani Mazi van Dorn. Harry neat and tidy behind that Ferrari. The Ferrari not so much though. A little bit wide here and there, but it doesn't seem to be giving him the run into the 141s they're doing at the moment. These two tripping over each other isn't helping, because behind them, 3.5 seconds. And just behind that is Moat Musa, and just in front Henry Mayer goes to the defense of the Ferrari. That's going to allow the cutback. There it is. He looks for it. But we know the next corner is a left-hander. So side by side for now, but the inside is the Ferraris. They're late to the brakes. The Ferrari very, very now. Even though to see.
Oh, he's
through.
He's made the move stick.
So very late to the brakes and made the move stick.
Oh! No,
talking about sticking, the back of that BM is not. So Kutsia and Domingo. Was it a touch or was it a sympathetic slide?
We are going to find that out right now.
Down the inside, Domingo of the Porsche. He's not down the inside. The Porsche is well away from him. Oh, it was. Oh.
Ooh.
Why did that Porsche slow the way it did?
can only imagine that he started understeering and he came off the power. That's the only explanation that I would have.
And unfortunately, Sean Domingo wasn't fast enough on the brake pedal. Oh, 2 cars up. Pretorius. And down the inside of him, I think that is the leaders. Yeah, blue flag, just saw it there. So looking for a way past all these 2 Alpha Esport drivers, and that's given a look to the BMW. He's not having a go though. He's early on the brakes to get the drive out. And
Yeah, how did those cars not touch?
I think they, I don't know.
And now they've come straight back into the battle, so let the front runners go, and then we'll just carry on and pick it up from where we went.
Yeah, from where we left off. Let's just restart. School ground rules. First brake's ended. Second brake started. Let's go. So 2 cars running very close together. It's Pretorius and Ati. We've seen 2 cars run side by side half the lap with Andrew Rackstraw. Thank you so much for approving of that. Formula Ford driver. I think one of our best finishes at the recent Formula Ford Festival. So Andrew Rackstraw having a watch up stream. Pretorius looking for a way past Nazi though. Couldn't quite make it stick, and he's lost a lot of ground, but we're going to go forward to Redloff because he's all over the back of Sugars, and this is for 4th and 5th on the road. They are nose to tail. That BMW glued to the back of that Ferrari. He's got to be close enough to have a go onto the main straight. They're going to be catching up to the McLaren in front of them. That is a lapped driver. He gets well out the way, does he? Trying to get out the way. Radloff wasn't sure if he was still there. He turned it in, and unfortunately
Ouch.
And an absolute mess. AJ de Cox collected that, and the big winner of that though was Ryan Ottens. He went past into 5th, and that was just a comedy of errors. Terry Wolford, it says up into 2nd place.
That is correct. But that's
he has obviously not stopped. Henry Mayer actually made that position for that past 4 position. So Terry Wolford still to do a stop, a little bit of damage to the front of that car. I wonder if he'll go in to repair it.
So what that means that Terry Wolford was effectively leading this race.
Dylan, is that a sentence you ever thought you'd say?
Not at all.
AJ de Cock now is off again.
Let's go back.
Oh, it's big damage. It's big damage.
Let's go see if we can find out what happened there.
It's Rodeo behind him. It's big damage, man. No, he's struggling to turn that car.
Struggling. Oh.
So he's T-boned the sideways stranded Radloff, who was trying to get himself to rejoin, but unfortunately took advertising with him.
So
and
we do have a new phrase that's just been mentioned, and I'm going to spell it out for you. FOCONUNTs. What the coconuts just happened?
What the coconut? That is okay. Say that 4 times faster. That sounds like he's swearing.
I'm not gonna say that because I know I will coconut that one up. So Marius Portma up into 13th place. He is up 2 from where he qualified. I wonder if Christopher Radloff is going to be making his way to the pits.
He must do. That car must be bent out of shape horribly. I don't think Pirello Auto would be able to fix that thing.
I cannot find him.
He may have left the group chat. There he is in the pits. Radloff in the pits.
Okay,
in the pit lane. You can see him.
That's why I could not find him, because he is further down the field than I expected.
What? You said he was up 2 places. You were incorrect, sir. He is now up 4. So into P11 goes Marius Portma with the other cars in the pits. And so doing very, very well.
And that's with him having done a pit stop. So the
Great job
gaps,
from Marius. Staying out of trouble.
I was going to say the gaps have opened up just a little bit. So 7 seconds between our race leader Henry Mayer and Mohad Musa.
Sorry, Dylan, just repeat that, because I just want you to note it's been half an hour and our gap is 7 seconds.
Yes. That is
so
correct.
I think our biggest gap in the top 10 is that gap. So like, it's typical. No, sorry, 9.4. So it's typical. It's typical SARCO action. Fleming Bauer getting brave on the grass again. I think that's how he binned it the last time. This time he kept it together around the outside of the Creation Wealth BMW of Craig Earcoat. So around the outside and into 14th place. Craig, were you defending or letting him through? Because that looked very, very easy for Fleming Bauer to get done. Maybe Craig aware that he is and coming through the field. Maybe he wants to tag onto the back and move himself up as well. But great drive from Fleming to return himself up into the top 15 after that off. Ati though, we've seen a lot of him, and that's because he seems to always be involved in something. And when I say something, it's Serodio trying to get through the back markers, while Ati is involved in his own race with Terry Wilford, who has finally stopped from the lead. We saw him in the lead briefly. He's now down in 24th, and just behind him is one of the leaders, or one of the top 10, Serodio, trying to lap Wilford out the way, and unfortunately that's lost him a place to Ati. Ati then backing off for Serodio, so Ati making good use of the leaders coming through and going from 25th to 24th.
And listen, that was actually pretty smart from Ati, because he kept the pressure on Terry. He knew that that Andres Serodio would go past. Terry was on the inside, kind of out of position on the track, had to slow down, let Serodio go through, and Ati was like, sweet, I'll take that place, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for letting me through too. Greatly executed plan that, I see. I'm proud to have the 29 on the side there, something I would Terry Wilford though, didn't look like he was taking that one line down. He is busy being lapped by, that's one of the Alpha 1 esports.
Yeah, that was
that would have been Lotus.
Correct.
On his way past, 4 seconds off for Serodio. Serodio 3.6 off Art. And Artson 7.5 off second place. Third Seegers, who's just off Amwad Musa. Our leader though still Henry Mayer. He has been a blitz around this Indianapolis circuit. 130, was it a 134.4?
He's got a 135.1.
Wow. Sorry, 135s is what they were doing. He was averaging 4s. Good middle sector from Marius Bortma, looking for his way past on Heineke. He has gotten a bit of drive out there, so he is looking racy, very close. The change of direction, that Porsche looking very good on the brakes.
Yeah, most definitely. That rear is getting down, squatted, ready to apply that power. Looks like it's doing it way better than that Ferrari is. And
he's definitely able to run a much tighter line in that Porsche. He is not close enough to have a go though. He's letting the brakes. Woo!
I think that was just make the driver ahead of you a little bit nervous. Pretend I've outbraked myself. Move offline, then just stop back into line so I can take the apex like I should.
If that was acting, Oscar, give it to him now. Portman, Oscar award for that, because that looked like he just missed his brake marker. So he did so well to collect that. Great driving there. And we still got this battle going on for 11th.
And the difference in terms of their lap times.
That battle's over. That battle just ended. Heineke in the pits.
Yeah. I think that's about 6 minutes too soon. What's happening?
How are there still this many cars close together?
Because there are some that are now out of sequence. Because this is Lucas in 26, but he's got the likes of Sean Skipper now coming through. And Sean is... whoa, hang on there, Lucas.
Love tap.
Yeah.
Give him a little kiss to say hello.
It's just, I am here. Because, Sean Skipper is currently in 8th place.
And the Ferrari behind him, I'm assuming, is full position. That's Hildebrand. Yes, Andre Hildebrand behind. Benz looking for a way past to lap. So these two full position. The car behind not. Blue flags waving. Good job, Marshall. Speaking of flags.
Yes.
Dylan, why do you go to the COC for relationship advice? The COC being clerk of the course.
Oh yes, no, I know what COC is. The red flag, you say. Has that got something to do with the answer?
You just killed my joke. You didn't kill my joke.
No.
You did. You gave the answer for the. You gave the punchline. You go to a park of the course relationship advice because they're used to seeing red flag situations.
Ah, that's clever. Are we counting that as the Ryan Otten's dad joke of the day?
No, I'm gonna have to come up with another one because you killed my punchline.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're forgiven.
Hey Google, help Carl with a dad joke.
That's not what I'm doing right now.
Fleming Bauer. What I'm saying is, oh, yeah, because he's fighting Ulrich Diago. So this is a forward position in Ulrich's very mismatched purple rims, but that's exactly how the team knows that it's him. And Fleming in the blue car, Eleanor stripes behind him. In the McLaren, is there going to be a late lunge into turn number 1? Yes, it looks like he has put the nose in, and Ulrich has to back off. But now Ulrich should be on the outside for the next corner. Oh,
He lost it on the rear.
Lost
Not
it
the
on
first
the rear.
time we've seen that.
So next, a person looking for an opportunity here into turn number 1 is Sean Domingo. Oh, look at that BMW just attacking those curbs. That Porsche did not look stable through there at all.
That's not something the Porsche looks often, but we did comment earlier on how stable the Porsches were looking. We've seen these two at it. We saw a little bit of contact between the two of them. Unfortunately, Sean Domingo running into the back. And it was right through the sector though, but we switched back to Jabulani Mazavandondo getting out the way of Paul the Wall Fenter.
Correction, that is a position.
Is that full position? So Paul Fenter getting himself up in the training space. Why is he so far down? We saw the first error, but it didn't drop him that far down. As Mazavandondo loses a spot, I think that was to be lapped.
Yeah, that's a lapping spot because the person behind him is Ruan Heineke. That is for a position. Your Ruan very, very tight. He's going to be able to get that power down through the back straight towards turn number 8. Looks like he has been able to. And that's pretty weird because you would think that the wider line is the faster line, but Ruan just proved us wrong there. So this is Ati with David Farrell behind him, fighting for position. Hold on, is that Ruan Heineke off the track? What happened to Ruan Heineke?
Oh, he is well done the order. Oh,
He binned it by himself.
Ruan Heineke,
Going
unfortunately,
into turn number 8, just went too hot and the rear just rotated on him. Wow, you don't see that every day. So David Farrell is closing up onto Ati as they head down the start-finish straight. They'll move to the inside. Not close enough to make a move. Ati is wide. The throw is going to go around the outside. And we're going to see
a little bit of a
wide
that's a
again.
big squeeze.
Oh, David just hanging on there, and Ati has to unfortunately let that place go by as Sean Skitter in the background there looks like he's going to start closing up onto this little battle ahead. There is more battles starting to build up, and this is now Leon de Villiers up against Emily Benson a Benz.
Enemy Benson a Benz going around a bend into the pits though.
Pits.
So the two of them are racing in the pit lane as Paul Wolfenton now all over the back of Godzilla. Is he going to make it stick? It's tight. It's tight, but Godzilla giving the space. And onto the... What a great shot that is. Onto the oval they go. Right on the outside is the... Nissan's going to have to go, but it's not long enough. And Paul Wolfenton up another spot into 17th.
So lots of little battles now starting to happen as we head into the last 20 minutes. So of the guys that still need to pit. You're going to start seeing a very, very busy pit entry, getting the last of the tires changed. Should be happening around about now. So I was trying to jump onto Jabulani, and he jumped up 2 places because some of his rivals were in the pits.
Up in the P18.
That McLaren
Consistency.
really took that turn 1 very well.
It caught onto the back of the Ferrari in front of it quite drastically. It is a car I'm trying to be getting used to, but I'm not enjoying it, I must add. It was the car I jumped out of into the Lamborghini. But while we're looking at Jabulani Mazimandondo, I must ask, why did the orange stop?
Why did the orange stop?
Yes,
No idea.
because it ran out of juice.
Yes, man. No, that's a great
Got
one.
it. That's my daughter's favorite. I didn't even Google that one.
Jeez, nice.
Sorodio,
So,
on board with him.
yeah,
Not far off Ottens.
let's actually go on board with him. Because there's Ottens, who's currently in 4th place.
Far away. Something we've got to give ACC though. Look at the stitching in the dashboard. Now that is attention to detail.
Yes. And it almost
Hard
looks
work
like
next
it
to-
has been
into-
done.
This thing on the brakes is amazing. This Lambo on the brakes is absolutely stonkers. Taking a massive amount of time out. He's carried it through 2 and 3. He's into he goes. He's early on the power, had to correct a little bit of oversteer there. Getting it over the curb, using as much curb as possible, change the direction here. Oh, he got it over to the right so nicely to get it turned left. He may have gone in a bit too. No, he still gets the drive out. And look at how strong. Oh, it's all over on. And that has given Sorodio the run down. Which side is Ottens going to go? Down the inside goes Sorodio. He's going to have to be late in the brakes.
Yo.
Ottens is later. And
Ottens
I'm
like,
sorry.
no, you ain't not going to have a go.
We talk about plastic surgeons removing the nose of something. That was more surgeon I've ever seen from Ottens. He just took a little bit off the Lamborghini's nose, but got them both through the corner, and that is a door firmly shut in the face of Andre Sorodio. On the brakes again, though. 2 car lengths out on the brakes. He's running a little bit wide, but he's only lost a little bit on him. So we can see where that Lamborghini is better and putting that Porsche under huge pressure.
And I think this is probably where Andre is going to be able to get another opportunity onto Ryan. The Lamborghini in a straight line is just crazy fast. You can see how he's closing up on him. Is there going to be a late lunge on the brakes? Andre is not close enough, so he has to just pull out there. But now we saw how Andre was closing up onto the back of Ryan, because the rear of that Porsche definitely not looking comfortable at this stage. Because we do only have 16 minutes left, which means Ryan has possibly run those tires for 24 minutes. We know 7 minutes seems to be like the optimal amount of laps that you can actually do on them.
Oh, it just does. Looks like he just can't get the power down, and he also doesn't seem to have the confidence in the rear to actually stab the steering wheel in. But he's still able to outbrake that Lamborghini, though. We've seen him do it twice. Sorodio not close enough to have a dig now, but he is able to close that gap again in the braking zone. Oh, there's Porsche getting squirrely again
Yells.
on the change of direction, and Andre got a little bit excited, stuck the nose in, but he wasn't quite close enough. And Ottens lives to just about makes it through another lap.
No, I think this is pit stop time right now. I'm almost certain.
It has to be.
Ryan is
That car
really
looks
struggling.
very untidy.
Or not.
Oh yes,
Or I should trust him myself. Called it.
hold it. Nicely done. Dylan Hall calling Ottens into the pits. Ottens taking the call, and that has released Andre Sorodio.
Ooh.
It'll be interesting to see who comes out of the pits. Where Chris Heineke, 13th. He's up 18 spots. Car number 13 in 13th place. All we need now is for him to be doing 13 laps, making 13 places, and
But
we'll have
he
another one
did-
of our SARCO matches.
He did do a 1:37.3 1:13.
1:36.7 that lap.
Well, now he's ruined it because he's just crossed the start-finish line. But his last lap was 1:37.1730.
Another SARCO.
Yeah,
The Mirror. We haven't seen one of those for a while.
no.
As the Mars X Porsche is all over the back of Benz. And is that Bortma coming up behind them
Yes,
with a
it
big turn of
is.
pace?
And this is for position because Jonathan, Chris, and Marius are all on their second pit stops. So this is their race to the end for 9th, 10th, and 11th place. And okay, I can't say just behind them because that's actually 11 seconds. Is Ron Heineke in 12th. So not quite as close as I expected him to be. But this is an almighty battle between the Benz and Chris Heineke's Porsche with Marius Bortman's Porsche.
And it's hotting up to B1 to take us to the end. Only 13 minutes left.
Oh, lots of curb there for Jonathan through turn number 13. That complete right-hand side of the car lifting up into the air. Chris is very wide there. Let's just see. So Andres Rodeo and Sean Skitter, both of them needing to do another stop. And there he is in the pits. Look at that. That is fantastic. And Skitter is in the pits as well. So just we're getting to his box. And here comes Henry Meyer, currently the lead car here this evening. And Henry has had an absolute amazing drive here this evening, considering the two sprint races that were done last week at Laguna Seca. Henry not completing either one of the two, so had a drop round in points, and here he comes back and is currently leading this race, and that's how you basically come back and take some points with you.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way to assert dominance better than getting here, putting it on pole and driving flag to flag from lap 1, and he started setting the pace already from the lap 1. 3, 4, 5 seconds ahead already by the end of lap 2.
So that gap between Chris and Jonathan definitely seems to have opened up. It looks like Chris is starting to struggle a little bit with that rear, because he's definitely not looking as stable.
Saying that, though, Ben steps
he
off the
closes up.
curb,
Oh my gosh.
and he closes it up. So,
Yeah.
reverse commentator's curse, and Jonathan Benz massively under pressure again from Heineke. I think this battle's going right to the end. Just in front of him, though, Paul the Wall Fenter, not far away, is not for position. It's Skitter that's in front of that, and
it
Skitter
is for
was
position.
on the way out the pits. No, I was talking about the Nissan.
Oh, no, but I'm saying that Paul is just ahead of them.
Yes,
Paul-
and just
Paul
ahead of
did
him
a-
was the Nissan.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But, and then I was saying Skitter also just about in it, and he's just come out the pits, 0.3 of a second ahead of Benz.
So there's
Sorry,
Paul.
0.4 of a second off Fenter.
So that's Paul, Skitter, Benz, Heineke, Bortma. So those 5 guys are all racing for position. This is 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, and they're currently separated on about 5 seconds. Those 5 cars there are for position.
So Skitter coming just out the pits, just behind Fenter. So Skitter, we know he's moving his
Fenter's
wide.
deep.
What happened there?
Fenter's deep. He went in too deep, and he has now lost that place to Skitter, which is now going to allow Jonathan Benz to close up a little bit more of the back of this Aston Martin. And it looks like Heineke is going, hold on, I want to come play as well, because that gap is definitely a lot closer than it was last time round.
Yeah, these boys starting to realize there's only 10 laps left, 10 minutes left, and this is for the end of it. We're above Paul Fenter now as he's chasing down Ryan of Skitter. But we do know that Skitter has a decent turn of pace. He qualified a little bit higher up, and we saw him involved in a little bit of back up into 7th place. And Fenter, the gap was 0.4. It's now up to a second. So Fenter struggling to hang on to the back of Skitter as we go into turn 1. It looked like But Chris Heineke hasn't given up the charge to get past Jonathan Bench. Jonathan running a little bit of curb and a little bit of grass. But when I'm doing that, Chris Heineke running a bit wide. So that gap closes and opens throughout the lap. Radloff is well down the order in 16th for... Oh, we did see... And he's all over the back of Diago.
This should be a textbook overtake for the BMW on the Ferrari.
Yeah, we know the BM's got good top end. We know Radloff good on the brakes. He gets hard on the brakes for the Ferrari. Just that little bit later, and manages to sneak a Radloff. Radloff jumped a lot of curb there to stay out of the way. You need to maintain your points as well, as we have a look at Rodeo. Very, very close to Arsens again. So these two have done their stops.
And I'm sure that... oh, hold on. Heineke's dropped back. What's happened to Heineke? Because he's now gone behind Marius. So here he is chasing Jonathan. Turns too soon into the curb. Goes sideways.
Oh, he almost had it. Oh, what a collection. On the grass as well. Great job from Chris not to turn that around. That was a massive save.
So, look at that. Those are all still positions, obviously, except Frankie there in the middle. Frankie a little bit further down the order.
Yeah, there's a second between all of them. So it's a second from Fencer to Benz, second ahead of Bortmer. So, and Heineke 1.6 behind Bortmer. So Heineke starting to close up on the back of Bortmer now as we ride on board. He'll run to...
Oh, that's
that's very wide. Oh.
Yeah, I thought they were a little bit close, but it was actually Lucas Joubert who got the move done. But here we go, Arena Roberts up against Stefan Kutzer. Oh, Kutzer.
Big curb. He's going to go outside then inside. Hard on the brakes.
Around the outside.
Back, no, he's going to go around the outside. And inside for the following corner. Has he made that stick? Are we going to see them run side by side? The Porsche does eventually yield that position to not end up a poster on the outside wall. Blue flags are waving for behind it. Porsche hasn't given up yet. Rainer Rob. But I do think Kutzer feels better staying behind than having a dive down the...
Yeah. That's...
and Rainer Roberts getting a good launch off one, and we'll probably build that gap from here on out.
That could have definitely ended badly for both of them. So Marius is now within 0.7 of Jonathan Benz.
And pulled 2.7 on Heineke. So Marius, with 6 minutes left to run, has found himself a little bit of pace. Frankie just behind. Oh, a little bit wide going into one. Gave the wall a bit of a paint. Thought he'd leave some of his... But Marius Bortner up 5 places into P10. Now just on the... He's now 0.3. That's Bauer.
Bauer's right up behind Heineke. This is the other Heineke. This is the Ruan Heineke, not the Porsche Heineke, who is Chris.
Sorry, my brain had to work that out for a second.
So this is Ruan Heineke drives the Ferrari, and not Chris Heineke drives the Porsche.
Yeah, I think it was just the way you worded it. The Porsche that is not Chris. That is Chris. I was very confused. Let's get back to the racing though. Bauer, all over the back of Heineke. And looking for a way past Aircode up into 14th. That's a big jump from him with the error we did see him have. But Bauer, not quite looking to full moves just yet. He's staying just behind that. The Ferrari behind the two of them... Dylan is obviously not full position.
No, because we've got Craig Eckert, who's actually behind them 14.5 seconds. I think that is... I can't see the wheels, so...
Red.
Not too sure. But I do want to jump here quickly because this is Jonathan Benz now taking...
Pit window is closing now.
Has everybody done their pit stops? I think so. Yes. Everybody has done their pit stop.
That a Benz of Benz out of that sector 1, that section 1, 2, and 3 is very, very. Pulled it up, was 0.8 on the exit. And now Marius is playing catch up. He's brought it down to 0.5. Oh, wide good Benz. Don't turn it in hard. He doesn't turn it in hard. And the two of them giving each other a wide berth. That's a lot. To get ahead of the Benz of Jonathan Benz. Is it all over yet? I did saying Benz 15 times. I think I've given myself Benz.
Oh goodness. Yeah, so we do have Fleming Bauer, who has got himself ahead of Ruan Haneke, and Christopher Radloff is also now up into 15th place. Andres Rodeo is still looking for a way past Ryan Ottens.
As they just sneak past Emily Benz there in her very, very unique livery from Yellow Graphics. Sorodia though, still all over the back of Otters. We've got 3 minutes left to go, so pretty much 2 laps. If I'm not mistaken, judging by the lap times they're doing, it should be about this lap and 2 more, Dylan.
Yeah, and that is because
our leader
for Henry. Yeah, so Henry is approaching to the last corner. So yeah, we'll have this whatever's left here plus 2 more.
Oh, Ryan loving the grass on that curb there. Here's our leader, Henry Mayer. We haven't spoken much about him, and that's because he's just been out in the front on his own.
Another person who hasn't got much love from us has been Mohad Musa. Again,
Also
out on his own, as well as Mr. Sugars.
yeah, these 3 just seem to be all out there, all on their own, world of their own. Sorodia though, a little bit closer to Ottens into turn 1, but we've seen how good Ottens is on the brake. He is absolutely phenomenal on the brakes in his Porsche. Sorodia thinking better of it.
Yeah, that Lamborghini does pitch in well. Holy cow.
Yeah, the nose of that car is just great. You do sacrifice a bit on the exit though.
And what I was going to say is it just looks like obviously with the motor being at the back of the Porsche, it's just able to squat and get that rear down quicker than what the Lambo does. So it looks like the Lambo, you've got to be a little bit more patient to wait for that rear to settle before you're able to get onto that power.
Yeah, you can't just slam the power on it as well. Whoa, talking about slamming the power on, the weight on the back of that Porsche obviously hurting the tires.
Well, Andre, go left.
Rodeo, I think he's got the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree. He should have gone right, which was actually being to the left and driving from his cockpit.
Yeah, so his left-hand side, our right, but Ottens was very clever there. He put it in the middle of the track and kind of made his decision late which way. Andre didn't have much of a choice, but he did have a choice, and unfortunately he chose, in our opinion, wrong. As we go back onto the oval and into the chicane, he is very, very close. We've seen how quick that lamp. A little bit closer to the Porsche.
Oof,
we know how good it is on the exit. It pulls a car length on every exit.
Yeah, Andre is just not able to get this Lamborghini down and put into a position where he's actually able to charge for that place, and that's because these two both at a 136.24, 136.21. 0.03 is the difference between these two.
Oh, you can just see off every corner Ottens just grabs a car length. So Rodeo able to bring it back on the brakes. So where one car is stronger, the other car is weak. So they are catching onto the back of lap cars, and well out the way goes the Ferrari.
Andre's
Thank you very much.
I'm out of here. I'm not getting involved with your guys' rubbish and your coconuts. You carry on.
Yeah. I've read this book and it doesn't end well. You two carry on.
Yeah, so
just putting his car in the right place every single time.
I did need to do this because we missed it at the last race. I know you went there, so it's not your fault. I'm not saying it was your fault.
Well, that's why we missed it, because I wasn't there. 3-2 back markers. He goes. Henry Mayer down the main straight.
The leader has
Crossing the start-finish line as our winner after an hour here at SARCO, Henry Mayer, start to finish. Muad Musa getting ready to cross the line in second place, just behind the Alpha car of... Normally would have thought this would have been for position, but unfortunately for Radloff, it's not. He's going to have to do another lap. Ulrich Seegers in third place, Sugars. Third place he goes. Ryan Ottman is going to hang on to fourth ahead of Serodio, but only just. Looked like a car towing a trailer. Just behind that is Justin Lotus in sixth, up 6. Go ahead, Dom.
Oh, sorry.
Skitter in 7th. Car number 17 in 7th. Car number 18 in 8th. Sorry, what just happened there? 718, 818. Paul the Wall Fenter.
Fighting for positions with Morris Bortma, who...
Fighting for position, yeah. Go.
We can't go yet. This is for the position. They're heading towards the start-finish line.
This is great, go. Finish him. Morris looking for a way around the outside. It doesn't have to run. So I think that's where they're going to finish. Morris Bortma will come over in 9th. Jonathan Bent, great race from him. Brilliant race from Jonathan Bent.
Christopher Haneke, listen to me. For Chris Haneke, then Fleming Bauer. Okay, I've caught up for you. There you go.
Right, Fleming Bauer goes across in 12th place. Haneke in 13th. Craig Yerko, great race for him up into 14th. Christopher to 15th. Ulrich de Jager in 16th. Emily Benz in 17th. De Villiers in 18th. Roberts in 19th. Farmer down in 20th. Buddy Hever in 21st. Domingo 22nd. Sabata 23rd. David Farrell in 24th. Eskutsa 25th. Bjerkes 26th. Pistorius in 27th. 28th. And this is McLaren. Hubert down in 29th place. Ati Pino, car number 29, misses 29th and finishes 30th. Andre Hildebrandt in 31st. Terry Wild Wolford in 30th. With De Kock, we saw him unfortunately get caught up with Radloff and had to dip out of the race with 20 laps, missing 20 laps of the event off. But he's down in 33rd, bringing a end to our 1 hour 2-stop race here at Indianapolis, brought to you by NAG and SARCO. Dylan, how is it we had action for an hour?
I don't know. We've got some new words. There was a comment here that Toki said that that Beetle just killed the bull, and that was the Porsche versus the Lamborghini, but it was actually a BMW, so it didn't really count there, Toki. We've got a new word called Foconuts, which we urge you to not try and say quickly and many times after it. Apparently we were told to stop telling our dad jokes. I think next week we need to bring 2.
Right, 2 dad jokes for the win. We're definitely going to do that. Dylan, I did notice though on cam, and hopefully if you have a look-see, Dylan's shaved nice and neatly so that his soul patch is more visible. Just so everybody have a look there. Soul patch is there. Can someone please come up with a bet so we can get rid of it?
What do you mean?
Like, we have to come up with something in a stream that makes you have to shave that off.
But I look like I'm 16 if that's the case. So guys, we are going to get the top 3 to come and join us in the comms box. So we will be back shortly. So please just stand by. I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
In the shadowed corners of racing's memory, yesterday's champions await their triumphant return, patiently biding their time on the sidelines. And now, the wait is over. They are back. SARCO, UK versus USA, powered by NAG.
There was nothing quite like paging through a new NAG magazine. The smell of those freshly printed pages, incredible game artwork, and of course, all the gaming and hardware insights you can handle. Did you know that the NAG magazine is back in print? Yes!
Grab the latest copy online. It's the 2023 annual edition, and each magazine is individually numbered. You can also look forward to an exclusive poster in each magazine, and there are 2 cover DVDs with exclusive game demos, apps, and many hidden Easter eggs. Get yours at shop.nag.co.za before they're all gone.
Welcome to the driver interviews. And yes, guys, if you haven't got your NAG magazine, go check it out, shop.nag.co.za, and get your NAG magazine. I actually have one of my own, and my code is issue number 01010. So if you're into binary code, you'll know that that's actually a pretty cool number. Let's start off with the driver interviews. In third place, Sugars. A pretty quiet race there for you. Once you were able to break away from the field, it was more just about getting those pit stops in and getting the car to the end.
Yeah, hey guys, well done podium. Yeah, I made a little oopsie which caused me to be too far behind Musa, and had a bit of a lonely race. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a bad track for the Ferrari, I think. So very happy with the podium. Yeah, well done, Henry and Musa.
Just in terms of the tires, we were hearing that those tires kind of lasted about 7 laps, and then they were like really bad, just a lot of overheating. Were you finding the same thing on the Ferrari?
Yeah, look, this track is slippery by nature. I don't know why, but definitely some sliding. Yeah, so tricky.
Awesome. Well, let's go to you. BMW second place there for you. It was pretty close going into turn number 1, but looked like Henry had got that dialed in. Was it the strategy to try and see if you could catch him, or were you realizing, but hold on, let me just get the pace, bank these points, because when we go into the last race, it's going to be a winner takes all?
Well, basically, going into the race, yeah, T1 was just about holding position and seeing what we can do with the race. But after Henry started dropping that hammer, I just couldn't keep up, unfortunately. And then my focus just shifted to Seegers. So I believe, like you said, he made a mistake in the pit stops, which was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, it was a tit for tat battle with him, gaining a few tens, losing a few tens. So it was a nice sweaty race, even though it looked a bit lonely. I was just keeping my eye on that gap to him, because he was quite fast. But yeah, it was a lacquer race, and happy with the result nonetheless. And well done, Maya.
And that is the beauty about the 2 pit stops, right? Is that you pitting, you got drivers that are now out of position, they haven't pitted themselves, and you essentially have these mini endurance races where you've got lots of cars around you, and you still need to navigate that. So anything can happen.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. Not that easy to navigate between the blue flags, but I must say they've all been respectful. I mean, we have a good bunch of drivers out there, and yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Absolutely awesome. Let's go to you, Henry. And all we can say is a drop round for you last week at Laguna Seca, not one of your best. But this is how you come back and show the dominance, put it on pole, and then run away with the P1.
Yeah, it was a good race. Fun. Musa pushing at the beginning. Last week was a mess. Messing up the quali, and then couldn't get through the traffic without damage. So yeah, it was just about keeping it clean this week.
No, absolutely awesome. And look, the points are still going to be very, very close. And that double points at Kota is going to be crazy. 75 minutes, 1 pit stop. And all we're saying is I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic showdown for that last race.
Yeah, it's going to be good, but you can change it to the sprint setup like this one if you want.
Just have a go.
But it was a good race. Congrats to the Musa and Seegers as well.
But awesome, yeah. Congratulations, guys. Carl, anything from you?
No, I think you covered it all in the questions. Still, great job and great racing from all three of you and from the rest of the 33 on the grid. And I look forward to the next round of action at Plenty all the way through.
100%, guys. And this season is proudly brought to you by NAG.co.za. If you do want to get your hands on a NAG magazine, you can go to shop.nag.co.za. And don't forget, guys, 16th of March is our 12 hours of Paul Ricard, and we hope to see you then. Guys, we're looking forward to seeing you next week for the finale at double points at Kota. And it looks like it is going to be a winner takes all. Guys, until then, keep practicing, keep racing.